tight, you'll need excellent navigational skills. SAS operations are undertaken with utmost secrecy, so patrols avoid using roads and established routes. They'll use navigational landmarks to move from feature to feature. The SAS also use the latest technology to help them navigate. GPS, or Global Positioning System, was developed by the US Defense Department. It can pinpoint a user's position anywhere in the world. Another primary role when operating behind enemy lines is to act as a forward air command, calling in airstrikes to take out enemy targets.
Distance to target 016 degrees, direction 13.6 nautical miles, route back.
The SAS has an ethos that is seemingly relaxed compared to other regiments. For example, elite units such as the Paras depend upon the discipline of rank structure to motivate recruits.
Lift your feet!
Training staff are there to drive you beyond your limits.
Pull your feet! Get up!
In both the Commando Brigade and the Parachute Brigade, you will not be allowed to give in. There'll be somebody hounding you and beasting you and thrashing you like the Guards Division as well. You will not be allowed to give up.
Right, push forward, come on! Come on! Get up! Get moving, come on!
In the SAS,
Come on!
you are on your own when it comes to self-discipline and motivation. The men who watch and observe candidates through the rigors of selection act in a completely different manner to conventional military training staff. So, who are they? The DS, or directing staff, are seasoned SAS soldiers. They've spent at least 6 years in the regiment. They've lived the reality of combat behind enemy lines and counter-terrorism. The speed, aggression and surprise of their training is in direct contradiction to the way the DS behave on selection. It's a window on the way the regiment functions.
I think that the main difference with the DS, I think, is that during the early stages of selection, they're not interested in you in the slightest. They're so laid back, that they should be horizontal, but I think that they do that intentionally to give you a wrong impression of them. And walk into, give lectures with their jackets open, and smoking cigarettes. It's totally military type personas they're showing you. You're just a number there, and they're not bothered whether you pass, fail, or burst into flames. It makes no boom. It just makes no difference to their lives. They're just going to carry on doing what they do.
I've had enough stuff.
Okay, grab your rifle. Get yourself in the back of the truck. It's up there, just around the corner.
Stuff, sorry, stuff.
I'm not interested. Just get in the truck. Pick your weapon up properly. You want to get into the regiment? Well, then show me. They're not going to say to you, right, come on, mate, get a move on. You've got to show them that you want to get in, and you've got to do that by, self-determination, and self-discipline.
After 3 weeks of the selection phase, many of the candidates will have given up. Those that remain will be put through a series of extremely difficult marches, which they have to complete within a strict time limit. Up until now, candidates have left the course voluntarily. But this is the first pass or fail hurdle that they face. Those that don't come up to scratch are immediately returned to their unit. The need to march long distances is a tactical necessity for the SAS. But what does an SAS patrolman take on an operation behind enemy lines? The equipment that you carry is crucial to your combat effectiveness. All of this is an example of what one man might carry. Rations, spare ammunition for potential firefights, spare batteries for radios and torches, night sights, claymores. Claymores were first used by the SAS in Borneo. They fire around 350 metal balls to a range of 100 meters, shredding anyone in their way, and are used by the SAS tactically for perimeter defense. The final test week of the Welsh phase weeds out men who aren't physically fit enough to carry essential combat and survival equipment for long periods. This culminates in endurance, a 40-mile march carrying a 55-pound Bergen that must be completed within 20 hours.
And what they're looking for is that mental determination and self-discipline and strength of mind, strength of character to continue when you're exhausted, but your mind and your heart is telling you, go through that barrier. It's like a marathon runner. When he's running in a marathon, they'll hit the barrier, as they call it, when you're the wall. You're physically exhausted. You've got no reserves left in your body, but they keep going because of the strength of determination, the strength of will to get through that and keep going. And, when you're doing endurance, for instance, you're doing equivalent to 2 marathons, but during the previous 4 days, you're doing probably a marathon every single day. You're doing that marathon with 55 pound in your back, plus a 10-pound rifle and water and a belt kit.
Around 3/4 of candidates don't survive the Welsh phase of selection. Those that do go on to the next stage, jungle training. During this phase, those that remain will be trained and tested in the standard operating procedures of the regiment. They will be observed at all times and assessed on how they perform and react to the intense training regimen.
If you haven't been in the jungle, you don't know how you're going to react. Because some people adapt it straight away, others absolutely hate it.
It's a very strange place, the jungle. If you can soldier in a jungle environment, then you can basically soldier in any environment.
After World War II, the SAS was reborn in the jungles of Malaya in the late 50s and 60s. Many of the tactical and operational skills used by the regiment were developed during jungle operations. The remaining candidates are now divided into 4-man patrols with a DS watching them constantly. They now have to work as a team and learn the tactical procedures of the SAS. The 4-man patrol is the basic operating unit of the SAS. It's designed to be small enough to move quickly and covertly behind enemy lines, but have sufficient firepower to be able to deal with an enemy contact. A 4-man patrol always moves in a state of tactical alertness. The trooper at the front of the patrol is known as the lead scout. Based on the patrol commander's navigational instructions, the lead scout, or point man, picks the best and most tactical route over terrain to the objective. Because he's more likely to confront the enemy first, he's often armed with a weapon of considerable firepower. The Mini-Me is a light machine gun that acts as a squad support weapon. It has a 200-round box magazine with a rate of fire of 900 rounds per minute. It has proved its worth to the SAS in the Gulf and Afghanistan. Each member of the patrol is trained to watch and observe an arc of fire that is designed to protect the patrol whilst on the move. During the jungle phase, candidates must learn to move with stealth, so they have the edge in a contact situation. To this end, the SAS employ a series of hand signals that help them communicate with each other silently.
Halt. Down on the ground. Obstacle. Friendly. Enemy. Recce. Listen in. Move forward. ERV, emergency rendezvous point. Mine or booby trap. Water.